Hey, welcome to another amazing episode of Sweet Release Healing's Roundtable. I'm Andrea Lovett of Sweet Release Healing. I have with me Charity, there's Tiffany, there's Kaylee, and there's Jenny, and we have the Morgan and the Sharon as our wonderful, fantastic producers. If I keep freezing, just let me know, I guess. So, today's topic is manifestation, and apparently we're going to try to manifest some fucking internet for me because this is some goddamn bullshit, and I'm tired of having to share shit. Why is it like this on this planet? I have no idea. Thank the gods for the Morgan because she said she can fix this. She's like, I got it. I can fix it. So apologize ahead of time for anybody who's watching this and you see me freeze. Hopefully it's in a flattering position. Knowing the gods, probably not, but here we go. Go ahead, Kaylee.
Me?
Oh, you took a breath, so I thought you were saying something. My bad.
No.
Nope, nobody here is saying anything. We're just on a podcast not saying anything. That's cool.
Yes.
So I'll start. One of the things that actually, Andrea, because it follows up what you were talking about, will you tell us what you tried to tell us earlier before your internet went out about the something hot mama?
Yes, ma'am. Her name is Hot High Priestess. She's on TikTok. I found her. And I signed up for and I am currently taking her manifestation workshop because we know me, Starseed. I tend to do things really simply, and I need more education on this, especially how humans manifest, how it works here on this planet. I need it. So I'm taking her workshop, and she has some really cool additions to this that I knew but didn't know in words. One of the things that she was saying is our imagination, our assumptions, our wants, our needs are to be using the eyes of God. So one of the things she said, imagination is to see with the eyes of God, because we are all pieces of God. We are all gods in our own right. So what does that mean for us? And that was one of the things where she paused and she was, I like her style quite a bit. She was like, okay, pause and think that through. What does that mean for you? It means all is possible, because if you're seeing through the eyes of God, God knows they're the creator. God knows they're able to do everything all at once and that they can just bring things into fruition. God has perfect vision. God knows nothing is off the table. God knows that they have unlimited power because they are unlimited power. So now we're bringing those concepts into our everyday lives. And I really love her approach on this one, on putting the power back into your hands, understanding that you are the operant power.
Nice.
For me, traditionally, it was like link up with a moon cycle, usually a full moon, and write it down. And it's mine. If I can hold the feeling while I'm writing it down, especially for more than 3 minutes, I got this. It's mine. Ta-da, done. But this is cool. This is adding facets.
It opens up a literal universe of possibilities. It takes the human self-limiting aspect out of it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Which, what can we do with that kind of power?
Everything. Anything we fucking want.
Bro, we can heal the oceans with this.
Can we try?
Mm-hmm.
Try to do it? Like, I want to do, like, group effort.
That's what I'm saying. We know that it takes 1% of 1% of the population to believe something and create it for all the entirety of the population. It comes into existence and it comes into fruition. So imagine if we had 1% of 1% not believing that things are falling to pieces, but instead saying, no, it's actively healing itself and this is part of the healing process. That the ocean is kicking all the trash out. That trash is easy to take back and return to whence it came, I suppose, in a clean, healing way. In a way that doesn't take away from anything. That, because we don't want to burn plastics. That lets shit into the atmosphere that nobody wants to breathe. But imagine if we had like plastics just started biodegrading on their own.
We have a bacteria that eats plastic.
Mm-hmm.
That we do.
And a fungus that, if found in landfills, will help process the waste at like an exponential rate. It's pretty cool.
And what if we, on the flip side of that, also manifested that people don't need plastics as much as they thought they did, that people don't waste as much, they are cleaner, that people are cleaner too.
That they have, they make a plastic now like out of hemp, and they also make plastics out of soybeans, and Toyota is actually making car parts.
See, I love that. And that all came up from a belief system that we needed it to be better.
Mm-hmm. And the acknowledgement of the fact, vegan leather is still plastic. Vegan this is still acrylic. It's still plastic. And so having that understanding that we can greenwash terms all day long, it's, we've really got to root down into the issue and manifest from that space, from the bottom up, instead of just all the time, right? Both directions help, but getting down to like the base of it and helping manifest the root of the whatever it is.
Mm.
This is a side quest of my brain right now, but there have been times where like I've manifested and I'm like, well, they'd be like, everything's shit. And I'm like, well, what if they did this and then this happened and then this happened? They're like, wow, you're naive. That doesn't happen. Like, is it naive or am I trying to make that happen? Like, is that manifesting? Like, just thinking that there is a better way out of it, or a better thing coming, or a better way to do things.
I always like to say to try to get a little delusional with your manifestations, because then that gives people the permission to think bigger, to dream bigger, because any of that is possible as long as you just put that effort towards it.
And I think the naivety is the key part of it, right? That, like Tiffany said, that delusional belief that it can happen. What do you mean? What do you mean you're telling me that's not possible? Of course it is. That level of just wonder and faith and hope, for me, is one of the key pieces of seeing it through.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you have to unsubscribe from reality to be able to pull in what you want and need. Charity?
You do. Like the imagination, please don't ever limit it. Ever. Like, you want to take it as far as you can. I don't care who says it's naive, because eventually it'll be tweaked a little bit into where it needs to be. Like, I was kind of excited to talk about this because I'm living out different manifestations in my life that I dreamed up when I was 18 years old. I have a house full of artists. I have a schoolhouse that most people have given up on these kids, but they are mine. I teach them, I love them, I have that over there, and I'm walking it out. Do not limit it, whatever you do. I didn't know I was manifesting it. I just wanted it. And I stay in my head a lot, probably more than I should, but I stay in my head. I see it in different ways, and sometimes it changes, and it alters by the things that we do. And I think the root of it, Jenny, is going to be imagining the mind frame of people to change, to see it the way we see it. And the only way they're going to do that is I tell them, if they want to do something in this classroom, get after it. I don't care what it takes. If you want it, find it. Make it. I don't care. I don't care who tells you no. I'm going to tell you yes, and I'm going to push, and I'm going to be right here behind you. And I promise them that, and I am. Like, we're going with it. So do not. I don't care who tells you it's stupid. I don't care who tells you it's wrong, and I don't care who tells you it's naive, because I've been naive but gotten the best shit out of it. Just saying. And I didn't even know I just knew right here that there is something more on this world than what we physically see and entertain. Do not ever let somebody limit your mind. Ever.
Fucking party. Fucking love you, dude.
Damn.
There's a dry eye in the house.
Oh, sorry.
No, fuck no. Don't you apologize for that.
No. Oh no. Very quiet, and she just fucking comes swinging.
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
Shit.
yeah, folks don't have to, yeah.
Did I think I was gonna cry at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? No.
Welcome to my world. It's fine.
Fine.
All right.
Fine. We're all fine. It's fine.
Why are you not a public speaker, though?
Do what?
Why are you not a public speaker?
Oh, if you ask my students, I am. I don't shut up about stuff. Because, I don't know, I don't know,
You
we
need
have...
a TED Talk.
Huh?
You need a TED Talk.
I don't know about that.
Shit.
Fuck TED Talks. Let's do SRH Talks.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
I'm ready to tackle the world, and we're done here. That's it. She's mic drop.
End of episode.
I love you guys. You guys see what Morgan put in the chat? Listening to Tate right now, and the passion. Damn, Andrea, you couldn't have picked a better board member to focus on education if you tried.
Right?
Isn't that the damn truth? Big changes are coming to Sweet Release Healing soon, and this whole group, incidentally, happens to be my team.
And I am honored.
I'm honored. We're not doing that
Greatly.
again. No, we all just stopped crying. We're not doing it again. We were hysterical in a meeting yesterday with each other. I was a mess.
Yes, these aren't the first tears, and they won't be the last.
We're fucking real. The goddamn truth. How else are we manifesting? Tiff.
All right, I'll bring it back together. So, my current, like, when I think about manifestations, I'm always like, all right, how? Because that's how my brain works. Like, I need the how to behind it. So, how am I going to do this manifestation? And my current focus has been on physical energy manipulations, not just, using moon phases and speaking it out loud and using the elements, but like the physical energies around us. And I'm really focusing on chaos energy because it's me and I have a lot of that. So I'm going to use what's readily available. And every time I ask, how am I supposed to do this? And I'm still working through the process, but it's very interesting about taking these chaotic situations and literally taking my hands to manipulate the energy, transmute it, and then put it back out into what I want as a manifestation. This doesn't work with everything because last time I got told that you're not going to try to eat a bowl of cereal with a bulldozer, so chaos energy isn't good for everything. So it's going to be interesting to see how I could use and flip it with maybe something like a very loving situation, something that's a little bit more still powerful, but like gentle in the energy, and see how that goes. Thoughts on that?
So threading the chaos a bit thinner, you can still utilize the chaos, but spreading it a bit thinner. So right now you've got the power of the bulldozer sort of wefting and weaving it where it turns into a spoon. We'll still that's the finesse of the chaos as well. That's fucking brilliant. Actually, just 10 out of 10. Yeah.
I was going to say they make bulldozer spoons.
Front end loaders.
It's just the proportion of it.
You just need more cereal. That's all.
That's what I'm kind of wondering is like, so what examples do you have of not being able to manipulate and manifest with that energy that they're saying you can't have cereal with a bulldozer because it's going to crush it. How does that appear in the everyday life?
I haven't come across anything. Well, I'm always very bull in a china cabinet with my manifestations anyway, so I seem to handle the energy very well. So I haven't come across an issue where they're like, no, don't do it with that one. Because I'm really powerhousing what I'm manifesting right now.
I'm with you. I add in a whole lot of different elements to my manifesting. Like, I make sure I'm pulling from the elements. I make sure that I'm still using my witchcraft at the same time. I make sure that every single day I'm using multiple ways to manifest. I'm not just relying on one. I'm not just relying on like visualizing or, that space like when you're going to sleep right before you're asleep and you start to manifest from that. I'm not doing that and just that.
Yeah.
Instead, like through the day, I'm doing little witchcraft things with like candles and little bits of spell work here and talking to the different elements. Like I think I said before, one way that I manifest the expansion of sweet release healing was to talk to air and ask it to whisper my name and the name of sweet release healing to anyone who needs it. That if it's for their benefit, if it's for my benefit, then please bring my name to them. And that helped a ton with the expansion. But then again, like Charity's saying, so does just blind belief. Like there's obviously a way to this.
Sorry, Kaylee.
Nope, you go ahead. I want to hear you.
Just a question, or maybe. So you're talking about bulldozing it, and they're like, you don't need to do that or use that right now. And like for me, I'm kind of like, why not? But my immediate feeling that is like, in some situations, that's not going to be your best key to get that turned, right? So like, I don't know anything, and y'all know like the witch. Like I don't know. That's a lot of you. I just know what I think, see, and feel, whatever, and it's just not quite the right combination to move whatever that is that you're needing to move. So this has to adjust. Like I said yesterday with different things, we're going to adjust and move. And when you get that bulldozer's not going to work, then adjust and move. Like maybe a stillness, because there's power in peace and in love.
Mm.
Like you have that opposing, right, Tiff? Right? Mm-hmm. You're bulldozing on this side.
Yeah.
Sit back and know it. That's another side of it, right? In that peace and just waiting. And that's something like I have a hard time with too. But I don't, that's the only way I know how to explain it is that what you're talking about? Because I'm trying to like stay on what?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because if somebody walked up to you random on the street and got in your personal space and shook your hand and didn't let go and was trying to give you sell you on something, you'd be like, get off of me. Now, it may work for some people, but some people, you got to treat them like a stray cat. And so I think that's the difference between the bulldozer and the spoon. You can walk up to me and I will, as long as you don't feel threatening, I will engage with you. Like I just will. But more people, there's that stray cat energy, that grace, that finesse, that subtlety, that I'm here, I got you, everything's fine. Like Charity said, that trust. It's you're mine now. Cat Distribution Center sent you to me. It's fine. You'll come around to it eventually. In the meantime, here's what you need to get there. And so I absolutely can see the finesse, versus the power. One's an external, like exactly like Charity said, one's an external and one's a sort of internal flow of things. And it takes both. Otherwise, you're exhausted because you are bulldozing everything you come across. And there's no reserves left for some of the smaller things. I'm not going to light a candle with a blowtorch. A match is necessary. I could, absolutely. There won't be much candle left. And I think that, to me, that's what spirit is saying, that it's okay for you to just, allow the wisps of chaos to work for you.
Love that.
I think so many of us are so impatient, though. We want the bulldozer because we want it now. We wanted it 5 minutes ago. We've thought it through. And I know me, I struggle with patience of it. I am so used to a way of living and a way of breathing and being that says, hey, I want this. And it's like, ta-da, here you go. And then I come in the human realm and I'm like, the shit is this? I have to wait 3 to 5 business years for this?
Well, and then, right. So that's the people who are you? We are the culmination of the 10 closest people around us. And that's why we got to be so freaking careful, because little things like that, it doesn't seem like a big thing at the time, but then we blah, 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 and we're like, whoa, that was not me. Well, yeah. It was not me.
And the thing is, nobody said that when we first started hanging out together. Nobody said it. And then all of a sudden it started trickling in. And I was like, we don't say that.
Right.
And now it's like in my face all the time.
And that pulls back to manifestations, because you want people that are both mirrors and amplifiers of your manifestation. So if you're sending it out to somebody that's a lump of clay, it'll be absorbed and it doesn't go anywhere. But if you're surrounded by people who are both giving and receiving of their own light, then it helps bounce around your community and everything anyway.
And I want to piggyback on that, because that's beautiful. Your manifestations, you're not an island. They're not just about you and what's in your head. You have to put it out there, because once you do put it out there, the universe says, here's people, places, things, ideas, and situations that are going to keep leading it to you that you need to say yes to. You cannot say yes if you're constantly surrounded by people who say no, who constantly are like, oh, you can't do that. That's not good. That's not going to work for you. If you hold that belief system at all. It's okay to say, you know what, there may be a possibility that this doesn't work or doesn't come up, but I believe it will.
Yeah. Or have you tried this maybe? And you're like, oh shit. And you go that path. Sorry, Kaylee.
The thing, don't fucking tell me I can't do something. Don't fucking tell me it doesn't work like that. Don't put that in my fucking head. If you don't think it's gonna work, shut the fuck up and watch it happen, because I do not like being told that I can't in any sort of way. And I just got a channeling. So there's nothing solid. Everything can be moved around. The power of the mind can bring energy together to arrange in your precise design, and the thought that the human physical awareness fences in the ability to create the world around you in your imaginings is crazy. That we think that things, that is just how they are. They're not. They're not. Nothing is solid. This cup is not solid. There are spaces in between this. Why the fuck can you not then change it?
Mm-hmm.
What limits that? You, your own head, the opinions of other people.
The duck said, "Fine, I'm out."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's, when I was talking about how people were like, that's a really naive way of thinking. Fucking is it though? Like, is what I said not what you would also like to see?
Yeah.
Is like the mass die-off of all of our ocean wildlife, is that not a shitty thing? Like, why can you not think that, like, why can you not try to make it better?
Mm-hmm.
even if it's just to give yourself a little bit of hope, that counts. You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking, and if people tell you, like, this is what I want, do not ever tell them that that's not going to work. Don't plant that there.
Nope.
Don't plant it. Just say, wow, that's amazing. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even ask the question, do you want to have a discourse, or are you excited to share your passion with me? And I'll tell you right now, I just want you to be excited with me. Or I'll go, I'm having trouble figuring out the next action I need to take to move this along. What do you think? And then we have a conversation about whatever that looks like. Don't yuck someone's yum.
Yeah. Tiff?
I think this just brings up the point that it's not just the people that you keep around you, but the boundaries that you set with each one of them. Making sure that even though these people may have alternative belief systems, that you're able to keep your system free of theirs and let them know that, even though you have that opinion, it's not going to affect mine, and I'm going to keep living my life and you can keep living yours, and we can gracefully disagree.
We can do what?
Gracefully disagree.
Boom.
I manifested 160,000 people. 160,000. That's kind of like my following right now across all the platforms. 160. And that started with 2 people, actually 3 people in my life saying, okay, all right, Andy, are you sure? I'm not sure you can do this. I mean, okay. Even my therapist at the time was like, I don't think this is going to work. And I just sat there thinking, why not? Why can't it happen to me too? Why can't I do this? I just want to help people. I just want to love people. I just want to show them how to get in touch with their own spiritual side, how to do everything that every psychic, medium, empath does. Why not? Why not?
That's my constant question to people who say that. Why?
See, now, right now, one of my manifestations I'm really struggling with is bringing a certain person into my life. And that's a hard one for me because all I keep thinking about is they have free will. They have free will. Am I interfering with their free will? I don't really necessarily know who this person is, but I'm sitting there thinking, there's no way that the universe would bring them to me or me to them if we weren't good for each other. But that's the thing that catches me is those belief systems, those reality-based belief systems kill me and kill my manifestations every time.
So I got 2 things. One was we don't mess with love, luck, or death. And the second was careful, or not careful, but it was, what does good mean? Mm-hmm. And I struggle with that one as well because I am like, here's this laundry list, and boy, I'm getting them, and they're good for me. They suck. The lessons are good for me, right? So it's that sort of like, you didn't say what kind of good, and that's where having that, I don't know, I kind of get hung up on that one a little bit.
I want to know what you meant more in depth, if you don't mind explaining. What do you mean with you don't mess with love, luck, or death?
So I've had this conversation a few different times. Those are things. Have you ever tried to manifest luck? Have you ever tried to go out and look for a 4-leaf clover? Or have you ever tried to manipulate and specifically trying to bring in like luck in and of itself? Right? No, because it's one of those things that we're like, we just don't mess with luck. Also, if you look at the mythology and the folklore, that never ends well. And, you think about the Fae folk and the different things like that, like the act of trying to grasp luck seems to be in and of itself unlucky. So, you know, you can Kaylee manifest things and it looks like luck to other people, but Kaylee isn't manifesting luck. And there's a difference between the two. And then love, right? Love is so tricky because it's so fluid and unique, and how quickly love turns into obsession. And so, like, when you hear all of these stories and all of the mythology and folklore, love potions and et cetera, it always backfires. And for me, there's always truth in these stories. And it's one of those things that we, the ubiquitous universe or individuality, it's all the same thing, I think, don't interfere with love. That's something that is almost outside of it. I just get, they're just going, ugh. They're like, we're here and we want you to have it, and we want to bring you in all of the places and spaces and cross paths and open circles and, doors, and we want to get you there. But like, that they're all doing this. And then death, right? We can't prolong it. We can't, prolong the inevitability. We can't bring back. We can contact and connect, but the act of death itself, we don't have, just one of those things we don't have control over. We don't even have the illusion of control over. And it, because it is what it is. If I'm destined to go, it'll be on my couch or it'll be jumping out of a plane. Nothing I do is going to alter that moment in space and time. And so for me, love, luck, and death are things that I have to be very careful around. Like I can work around them, but I can't work directly at them.
Mm-hmm. Especially the love part has always caught me because you can't interfere in someone else's love.
Exactly. So if I'm trying to manifest this partner, I can tell you exactly what he feels like and how it fits in my life and how I fit in his and all of the beautiful feelings and emotions and things. And I can make a laundry list of them. But that's all I can do until his path crosses mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got to do the work as well. I can love potion him all day long, and if he's here, none of that is going to come to fruition because it's not in his core soul. Spirit can bring us closer together, but until these two individual spaces hit just right, then that's all they can do. They can direct us both to Atlanta, but it's up to us to figure it out once we get there.
That's the part of manifestation I can't stand, that I find so annoying, is how many wrenches can be thrown in the works.
Yeah. And I think that's the human experience, though. That's the lesson of being a starseed here on the earth, is the patience and the grace and I keep saying the word grace, and I really am going to have to dive into that one as well later, I guess. But I think that's the lesson of being on this terrestrial plane, is slowing down and enjoying the journey and the process instead of just the poof, because we have poof, right? That's no big deal. But what we don't have is the experience of achieving poof.
And just imagine how difficult that is, where we live in a world that is just constant instant gratification. We've almost been trained right now to not be able to manifest because we need everything in an instant.
Half of the fun is watching it unfold in front of me. I love that. I love seeing me pull closer and see. It's kind of always looks like a big blanket that's folded really tight for me. Like the part of it unfolds and a part of it unfolds, and I get to see more of the design as it opens. I'm not a patient person, 100% I am not. But I can be a patient person when I see it moving, when I see the forward progress. So like also pulling in a partner of some kind. So when other people come up and fill those bits of roles that I'm looking for, I get excited about that because I'm feeling like the universe is saying, here you go, say yes. That even though it's in this form or that form, yes, and let this unfold for you.
My therapist told me that if I'm wasting time in Birmingham, then I'll never find what I'm looking for in Atlanta. Keep going. That, like, this is not your stop, and you know it. And you can't, there's no room to fill the cup if you're filling the cup with something else. And I try to keep that in mind because sometimes I'm like, yeah, but this hot chocolate is really good. I like this hot chocolate. And she's like, that's not your cup.
Kaylee?
So I got to thinking. So what if we started like a trend where we manifested with people? When they tell us, I want to try and do this, be like, fuck yeah. Yeah, you're going to do that. And we manifest it with them and for them so they can have it. I do this shit all of the time. Like, a friend of mine has a band and wants to make it big. I'm like, fuck yeah. It's going to be so big. It's going to be great. I get 100% behind him. Why would we not do that for others? Like, why?
Do we not already do that with each other, though?
And instead of, yeah, but like, instead of being in this mindset of being like, I'm going to play the devil's advocate, I don't think that's going to work for you. Why the fuck not join their illusions for them?
Yeah. I like to say, whatever it is you want, let's go get it.
Yes.
However you want to play it.
How much better would the world be if that was the standard?
Yeah.
I like what Jenny put in the chat. Should we add this as a channel on Discord? Fuck yes, we should. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Tell us what your crazy delusions are. We are 100% fucking behind you.
Yep.
Morgan's doing it right now. So if you're not on our Discord, do it. SweetReleaseHealing.com at the bottom of the homepage.
And be delusional. Be fucking delusional.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a t-shirt.
Yes.
Oh, Sharon's on it. I saw her hand go up.
Manifest in the most delusional way possible.
See, I love this because we know that I have struggled before with the not enough thing. Not enough. Got to do more. Part of that comes from traumatic relationships, etc. Part of kind of the belief system, though, and see if you guys have ever heard of this, is don't tell people what you're trying to manifest. Keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. And then all of a sudden when you've done it, it's great. You can tell people all this stuff. But I've been told that is don't tell people and don't say it out loud because you'll push it away. Like, make a wish, but don't tell anybody. Wish on a shooting star. Talk to the moon. Blow out your birthday candles. But don't tell anyone what it is you want. It's got to be a secret.
No.
How are you going to leave spaces? Ha ha. You said I couldn't. I fucking did.
You can't live a delusion if you don't, like, put it out there. Like, if you keep it inside, it's not going to go anywhere.
Here, out.
I think it goes back to who you tell that delusion to. If you tell that delusion, just like Kaylee said, to someone who isn't gassing you the fuck up, then that creates seeds of doubt. And then now we have planted contradictory intentions into our manifestation. So I'm not telling my blessedly delightful sister jack shit. But I will tell you guys, right? So know your audience.
Good point. Yeah, I think that's a good point. I've heard that not tell stuff, but I'm an advocate of if you say it or you write it down, you're putting it out there and it's started. If you keep it in, I feel like you just shelved it. You're like, I'm not good with the rules or whatever. I'm not. But that's what it feels like. Like I'm telling you, when it comes from mouth to space, boom, boom, from there, here down, like it starts. But I agree completely. It depends on who you tell it to. Like some people, there's no way in the world I tell them my dreams at all, ever, not a day, not a second. So I don't know, just. But if you have like delusional manifestations, scream them in the wind and howl them at the moon and let us know so we can back it. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
I will
Sorry.
100% be behind anybody's fucking delusions.
Yeah.
Like, always. I think that's just a standard for me. You want that? You're gonna fucking get it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We've decided that right fucking now.
In this whole like not telling people things, my new favorite affirmation is fuck that, because that is just keeping myself small to make them feel comfortable. And I am overdoing that. I have had so many people that now I'm going around going, hey, I'm doing this class, I'm teaching this thing. And they're like, that's stupid and nobody's going to like you. And I went, you know what? Fuck that. I don't care. I'm still going to do it because it brings me happiness. And though you're not comfortable with the things I do, isn't meaning that I'm going to be uncomfortable doing them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And creating a space judgment free that, like, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know how I said my bestie is hanging out here because of her awful boyfriend? And she just sent me something. She just texted this to me. October, stay far away from anyone who gets genuine enjoyment out of fighting with you. Anyone who mistakes screaming for passion and jealousy for love. Anyone who brings out your worst side when they should be bringing out your best. And I think this goes in line with it, as well as this one for May. Stay far away from anyone who pressures you to change, who doesn't respect it when you utter the word no, who makes you feel guilty about your boundaries because you aren't giving them exactly what they want when they want it.
Mm-hmm.
These are people we should not be surrounding ourselves with and get in the fucking way of our manifestation. So, like, thank you, Jess. Give it up for Jess for a second here.
People to avoid based on your birth month.
I love that. People to avoid based on your birth month. All of them.
Just don't tell me I can't do something. I feel like I'm in the place right now that, like, you can't do that. Fuck off. Don't talk to me ever again.
Kaylee's in her supernova era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for people listening who keep hearing the buzzword of manifestation, and they keep seeing whatever TikToks on their FYP, and are overwhelmed and getting contradictory information, how did you start, right? Because we've all been doing this for a very long time. And so we've gone through all of the different processes, and here we are in this place. Do you have any recommendations on, I can't even spell the word meditation. I don't know where to start.
I think it's individual for everybody. For myself, I speak words. My husband hates me because anytime we get in a financial crunch, I go, money comes. And the next thing you know, we're fixed. And he doesn't understand why or how that works. I don't 100% either, but I know it's because I physically say the words. So I think it's trying different things and finding what works best for you.
I think it has to do with the fear element too. What are you going to be afraid of? I know when I'm trying to manifest something and I'm talking to like my inner group about what I'm trying to manifest over and over again, I stop talking about it because I get shy. I get a little indrawn because I'm like, oh, they don't want to hear about this anymore. They don't want to hear about that anymore. So I get indrawn and now I start writing it down. And then I start trying to force and push.
And to piggyback off of that, like, why, like, the fear, like, why what is the worst thing that could happen if you made something your reality? Something that you wanted.
What's the best that can happen?
Yeah.
Because there's the fear of, and I think we've had this conversation. Maybe it was in the Discord chat the other day, and Carlene and I have had it before. But the fear of success is more paralyzing than the fear of failure, because like we know what's going to happen when we fail, right? We see it every single day. Failure happens all around us. There's a protocol. There's an expectation. It's fine. But fear of success, we don't know what that looks like, and it looks different for everybody, and there's no blueprint for it. And when you are when you're failing with everybody else and now you're succeeding, everybody else is behind you and you can't see what they're doing. And then there's a little bit of that that prickly on the back of your neck feeling. So the fear of success, to me, in my personal journey, has been more paralyzing than the fear of failure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That fear of success it's so weird. It's the fear of success is like, oh, if I'm good at this, people are going to expect more of me. I'm going to have more pressure. My world is going to change. And
then what are we going to do?
And
you got that goal, so now what?
You adapt and overcome.
And Taylor Swift said it in an interview with Jimmy Fallon, maybe, that she was like, yeah, I had reached the pinnacle of my career, and I stood there and I looked around and I went, this is it? And so there's that as well, that like we know the summit is the summit. Now, what Taylor has done is she's just built fucking mountains to climb, right? She's like, no. So she just built another mountain and said, fucking watch me. And she built another mountain and she said, no, watch me again. And she is just creating mountains because she can. And I think that is the other aspect of it. And that you'll see artists or you'll see, whatever, they get to the pinnacle of their career and they're like, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to it is hard to get what you wanted because you get there and sometimes we do say, now what? What next? Instead of stopping to live in it.
Like that, you finish a series, you binge watch a series, and you get to the end of it. Like, well, shit. Then you start another show. Mm-hmm. Like, why stop there? Like, okay, that was your only goal? Do something else. Go a different direction. Who fucking cares?
That's right. Yeah, I love the mountain analogy because, like, that's how I kind of look at it sometimes. Like, whenever I obtain a goal, I'm like, okay, what do we do next? Let's find another one because we're fixing to build, right? Like, I'm not just making mini mountains. I'm making levels in my mountain, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to get to a tier and then I'm going to widen it out and I'm going to expand it up and I'm going to widen it out and I'm going to expand it up. So, like, to progress along that way and to keep a goal constantly. Once I have this one, I already have other goals in mind. And then I have no idea what's going to come from that either because sometimes things come and I didn't know it was a goal, but it is a goal and now I'm a part of it. Because it kind of comes with that leveling of moving in that direction. Things start to kind of like help you build. And Tiffany was asking something about, is it that she can or is it like that she thinks she deserves it? I'm always going to say it's going to be your belief in it and those that back you. Period.
That mountain analogy is what builds that question because it's not about the goals that come. There is always going to be something that follows after you obtain the goal. It then changes to the belief system of, do I deserve the success?
Yeah.
Am I worthy to make it up that mountain and get to the next level? And that limiting belief of maybe that's not what I deserve, maybe I need to earn more to get there, is what keeps us from leveling up higher and higher and higher. While Miss Wonderful Swift here is like, no, bitch, that's mine, and I know it's mine, and I know I'm going to get it. And
Walks
just
in like
keeps
a
going.
goddess and takes it. Yes.
Yes.
Part of it, though, and I'm going to couple on that, is once you get it, am I going to fuck it up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where you fall back out of your belief, though. You step out of the goddess mentality and right back into the human body.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, as much as possible.
Yeah.
I love Sharon. Do you guys see Sharon? She's like, so many chills. So many chills.
I marked that clip too.
Yes, ma'am.
Really, like, that's what I do. Like, y'all know, like, I have ups and downs, right? So when I'm in that, I am reaching to step into the goddess. And just the fact that I'm reaching to get there brings me. It may take time, but I can get to it.
Yeah, because there's valleys between those mountains, right? And sometimes
That's right.
they just poof out of nowhere and we're free falling.
Right. And
Well, we need it for the plot.
Yeah.
We need the valleys for the plot.
Fucking
You
plot.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that reaching for the goddess. Charity. I think you have just shifted my reality.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Good. For the better.
Yeah. Just reaching for the goddess. Because we get all wallowy in our humanity, right?
I do. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I've got this book right here, The Power Wish by Kiko. And this is one of the things that I started with. And she, for every one of the new moons and for every one of the full moons, and she's got, how you write it down, and she's got this formula. And the catch is Japan's leading astrologer reveals the moon's secrets for finding success, happiness, and the favor of the universe. And I did this for almost a year. And for me, it was freaking exhausting. But because this is somebody else's program. This is somebody else's. Now, fantastic book. If you need I don't know how to do this, step 1, 2, 3, and 4, I highly recommend it. You can get it at Target of all things. And, but what I found is that somebody else's protocol was getting in the way of my success. So keep that in mind as well. If it's hard or it's trudgy or it's exhausting, then check. How does it align with how you flow? Because your energies may not align with that form of manifestation. Just like Andrea said, try something new. And Tiffany said she is drawn to speaking. So what are you drawn to? Writing, painting, drawing, bathing, rolling around in the dirt like a snake? What are you drawn to? Try that.
It's a good point, because everybody's a unique individual, and the way we connect and the way we think and the way we process and the way we're going to feel things and find things and create things is all going to be uniquely different. I take pieces and parts that sit within me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like I said, yeah.
This one was like at one phase of the moon, it's present tense, and that the next phase of the moon is past tense. I can't wait to have this, and then the next in the full moon, it's like I am loving having. I already have it. I love having it, and so I take that kind of the intention of it with me as well. Like that's the single thing I pulled out of it. So absolutely, take these bits and pieces.
So does she switch with the tenses of the verbs depending on what she wants and when she wants it?
So with the phases of the moon, yeah. So the new moon is I have this person come into my life, and then on the full moon, it's like I had him. I'm so glad he's here already, right? So one is I see it in the future, and the other one is I already possess it, and so it flows with the moon cycles like that. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I read it through it all, like it's great.
I think that's important is why I think it's really important about the words that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Before I didn't say a lot because I was hung up on it. That's a different issue. But it is important, like how you say it. Like instead of like manifest for me, it's like It is already mine and I demand it. I already set it out. Bring it here. I'm just walking this through this mud down here. So bring it. So that's how I see it, is like, but that is now, it is present within me right here, right now. And then sometimes I say, I already got it. And it's a different kind of feel. Like, I already got it. And I use this one, like, when I'm talking about wanting things, they are already mine. Absolutely. They're mine.
Yeah.
There's no questioning it. Might not know when it's coming around, but that's okay because there's chaos everywhere. So, but it's mine and it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that for now. We'll talk about that later, but for now.
You make me want to manifest shit so violently. Like,
Just
it's fucking mine.
Charity, I really need you to host a manifestation session.
Yeah.
But I don't play by rules. I just I don't, because y'all talk about, well, I do it on the full moon, and I'm like, I just do it whenever, and if the moon's out, yeah, I'm usually howling at it. But
right, and that's what it comes to. You're right.
Yeah. There are no rules. Thank God, because I hate them.
And rules are such a human construct, and we're so star seeds. And like Andrea said, she was like, I don't understand. I'm just so used to it just being there. I didn't even have to finish the thought, and there it is. And now we're like, what do you mean you don't know when it's coming? Are you fucking kidding me?
I think it's that thing, like what Kevin was talking about, like everything's moving, right? Nothing's completely solid, right? But we've kind of condensed and like slowed down, and that slowing down through this mud sucks. So I think that's what it is. But I do like that concept that you kind of started with there, because all of it is moving, right? And it was like you were saying earlier, like that, even that mud, like sometimes you just add a little water, it moves a little better, you know? So you just kind of have to like work it like that. That concept though sticks with me a lot. The fact that even this body is constantly moving and embedded with electricity, like fire. It'll just pour out and create. Yeah.
Fuck.
I like what you're talking about. A little.
Oh my God.
That sent like physical electricity through me. Yeah,
like I can feel it burning within yeah. But everything is moving, so you just, for me, it's like I'm just moving what I want. I'm pulling what I want and pushing what I don't. Like I'm like, no, that's out. I'm over here, pulling this, pushing that, like moving, constantly shifting and flowing, like the river.
You're taking action.
Yeah, she makes her own path in the land.
You can't fuck with her either.
You can't fuck with that power. And she makes her own path in the land. That river will move and will set back. And she'll move and she'll set back and she'll be there.
I can't wait for y'all to meet the Mississippi with Charity in April. You want to talk about magic? Y'all.
I can't get in it though, because you can't get in it. You can't get in it because it's dangerous. But getting close enough, I'm telling you, we're going to be right there on the walk, on the river walk.
There's a spot. I'm gonna figure it out where we can go bless things or dunk things in. It's like really shallow and rocky. I gotta find out where it is. But
is it by the quarter on out, like in the Garden District?
Is it?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Like,
I don't know.
We'll find it. We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find it.
Find it.
Yeah, but like Charity in front of the Mississippi. I hope, Morgan, you bring your camera because we're gonna need to see that.
Charity reminds me of like when they're about to go into battle and they're giving that like complete passionate motivational troop rallying speech
all I got. Shield.
And it's like, we can go and fuck shit up. It gives us the delusional confidence that we need. Like,
Yeah.
Charity, people need to hear all of this. They need to hear that passion.
You hear
You need to hear about that fire. Like, you need to make a fucking video so that people can. You need to rally the troops, Charity.
I'm trying. You're the troops. I'm rallying.
Well, she just turned that around on your head.
She really did. Good luck. And at that, we have hit another hour, babies. But we're going to continue this conversation far more in depth in Sweet Release Healing's Roundtable After Dark. So we can drop the rest of our filters and say what we got to say as we got to say it. I want to say thank you so much to Charity, Tiffany, Kaylee, and Jenny. Super special, amazing thanks to Sharon and the Morgan for being here as these wonderful producer roles that we absolutely need. Thank you all, dear listeners, for being with us, sticking with us, and we hope that this has motivated you to pull your manifestations in. As always, I'm Andrea Lovett of Sweet Release Healing, and I can't wait to see you.